Hi, this is crushchessy for Ivey Poker, and I'm coming at you today with a four tabling 100 NL video on Bovada. And this is going to be a live recording video, so I'm just making the comments as I actually play here. Lately, I've mostly been doing the Card Runners EV videos, some hand analysis, but right now I'm just at home over the holidays and uh, I don't have a ton of time on my hands to go ahead and make a super in-depth video like that. But the powers that be asked me to go ahead and just make a live recording video, so I'm doing that. Uh, Interestingly, this is kind of my third attempt at doing that right now, since I'm not at my usual computer, I don't have all of my standard settings saved. So the first time I made the video, I got in a lot of really interesting spots. I was pretty pleased with the footage. And then I realized after I started listening to it that I left all of the sounds on, like all of the beeps and all of the chips clacking. And I know that that tends to drive some viewers crazy. So I decided to just go ahead and delete that one. And then I did a second one where I just kind of sat here for 50 minutes, got some footage, but really there were just no interesting spots. So this is going to be my third attempt. Right now, playing 100 NL on Bovada is my main game. And since I'm living in Vegas, I also play on the license websites that they now have in the state of Nevada. So playing on Ultimate Poker, I'm playing on wsop.com, and typically I like to play about six tables of 100 NL. Bovada has a four table maximum, and the license websites in Nevada, they don't have a lot of liquidity because you can only play other players from the state of Nevada. But usually I can find one table of 100 NL on Ultimate and one table of 100 NL on wsop.com. And with the six table total, I'm pretty pleased. Here with the ace five, I think I'm just going to ISO here. That gets me the chance to just take it down if this is a weak limp. And even if he decides to call, a lot of times when people do that, they'll kind of have a weak range. So that'll kind of just let me take it down on the flop. I think here I'm just going to check back. I'm not too worried about the turn card. I mean, in fact, it's a heart. It's going to give me a nut flush redraw. And this will give me the chance to induce some bluffs since I didn't bet the flop. I'm definitely under repping my hand to a certain extent here. And as far as the river goes, I think I'm going to look to value bet here, but it's going to be small because I just think I could easily have like a missed heart draw here. Maybe I just called the turn with something like King Queen with the King of Hearts. So I was hoping he would look me up a little lighter there also because I just went ahead and did check the flop in that situation. But yeah, so I'm mainly just playing on those three websites, and I'm very happy with the games on the new licensed Nevada websites. I just realized I just wish that there were more of them because just from an American standpoint, it's pretty nice to know that if you win, you're actually going to get paid. I kind of got burned pretty bad in the whole Black Friday debacle. I lost about $17,000. I had three websites I was playing on that got shut down: Full Tilt, Sirius, and Poker Stars. And on Poker Stars, I had $60 in my account, and Sirius had about 3,000, and Full Tilt I probably had about 14,000. So I got my $60 back, no problem. But as for the rest of it, I haven't yet seen any of it. So at this point, I'm pretty paranoid about playing on unlicensed sites in the U.S. And Bovada, I feel pretty good about. I feel their reputation is pretty good, but it's just always in the back of your mind once you've been burned once that you might be burned again. So I keep kind of minimal roll on here, just a couple $1,000s. I'm going to go ahead and just three bet the 10-9 suited. I kind of like to three bet like suited connectors, suited aces there, some hands like that of course I could probably call with those hands, probably in many cases too, but a lot of times I just think they play better if you go ahead and 3-bet them. But yeah, I've been doing that, and then I've also been adding in a little bit of live play. Probably about 50% of my live play is done at 1-2 or 1-3, and the other 50% at 2-5. And the live games out here in Vegas are just really great. Like if you kind of look at things in the poker hierarchy, I mean, first of all, you've got the games on the Euro sites. I'll jump back to that in a second. I'm going to go ahead and 3-bet these aces. Usually about 10 big blinds is kind of my standard sizing out of position for a 3-bet. In position, I like to do about 9 big blinds. Okay, and I get a very nice flop. He could give me action with a lot of draws here. And it's also a flop where I think he could easily bluff raise with like a hand like Queen Jack, because he might just make a small bluff raise here just to kind of test me out, see if I have Ace Queen or Ace King. Plus he could give me a ton of action with something like tens or jacks. So obviously easy call there. And now just hope to hold on. But yeah, just kind of in the poker hierarchy. Okay, first of all, like we got the games on the Euro sites like Poker Stars, iPoker, whatever, and those games have really gotten pretty tough since Black Friday. I mean, now if you're playing 50 NL or above, a win rate of 3 to 4 big blinds per 100 is really pretty good on any of those websites. And I mean, obviously, you're getting your rake back on top of that through VIP at Poker Stars, or you probably got, if you play at iPoker, you probably got some deal where you're getting 50 or 60% or whatever. But still, those websites are really tough. I mean, the main advantage is that there's just tons of liquidity, so you could just go ahead and play a ton of tables. These pocket threes, I think I'm just going to fold. I sometimes like to 3-bet a hand like this out of the small blind, but the reason I'm not crazy about it here is just we're a little deeper. So when we're this deep, I think you can call with a really wide range, and threes are kind of tough to play out of position. So here with the pocket sevens 5-way, I'm just going to play it pretty fast. I mean, if it were heads up, I'd have to give a little bit of thought as to how I wanted to do it. But I mean, obviously against this many players, I'm not looking to mess around with his hands. Okay, and I get a lucky turn card. I still have the effective nuts. I'm going to make a tiny value bet here with this straight. And with the set, I'm obviously just going to go all in and dare them to draw. I'm pretty sure I'm ahead here. I'd be shocked if it were otherwise. And I'm not interested in letting them collect a straight or a flush on the river. But yeah, so you kind of got at the top of the hierarchy, you've got the Euro sites, which have really gotten pretty tough. And then after that, you've got, I'm going to go ahead and fold the deuces here, just out of position. I don't think they play all that well. I don't like 4-betting them either, because I just find blind against blind, people 5-bet a little wider range. With the king queen, I am a very strong critic of basically seeing flops with unsuited Broadway cards other than ace queen and ace king. But if it's a min raise, I'll make some allowances, because the main reason I don't like to call those raises is because if you're calling 3 big blinds, then you're kind of, I'll get back to that in a second. Let's deal with this raise. And it's kind of interesting because the player in between raised, and typically when the player in between raises, they're much stronger than if the last player raises. just because this first player could be sandbagging, and then they kind of have to take that into account. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and make a tight fold there. I mean, if I call there, then really kind of all I'm hoping for is that it gets checked down from that point on. Because, I mean, I can't really feel real good about that hand, even if I go ahead and hit a little something on a later street.